Welcome to one of the last places in America where opposing views are not only listened to, but they're sometimes agreed with. My name is Titan, I am your host, and this show is Making Waves. Here's how it works. We have chosen a topic that is important to this industry and two volunteers to argue opposing sides. We have 5 anonymous judges who will listen attentively while each side makes his case for a total of 4 minutes and then spends up to 1 minute answering 4 rebuttal questions from the other side. Finally, each side will take 2 minutes for closing arguments. Then the judges will decide who made the best case. And best part of all, we're going to ask you to judge the judges. The next 20 minutes might not change your life, but they just might change your mind. And it's all made possible based on our incredible sponsor, Helm Audio. Riptide, let's make some waves. Greetings, judges. Now, as you know, you are all remaining completely anonymous, so you have no pressure to vote to decide one way or the other. We are asking that you please leave any personal biases at the door and base your decision strictly on what you hear tonight, not on whether or not, hypothetically, one of our contestants might or might not happen to have a baby on the way. Don't even think about that. Now, before we introduce our contestants, let's discuss what tonight's topic is. Tonight's topic is pre-order bonuses and microtransactions are detrimental to the gaming industry. Now, as most of you know, of course, pre-order bonuses are when you pre-order a game, you might end up with certain perks in the game when it comes out. And of course, microtransactions are minor purchases that gamers can purchase within the game. Now, let me introduce our volunteers. Arguing the pro side of tonight's topic, that these things are indeed detrimental to the gaming industry, is our friend, Papa Donuts. Papa Donuts, how are you doing tonight?
Good, how are you?
I am doing great. I'm very excited, very excited. Thank you very much for being here and for doing the work to do our maiden voyage here tonight.
Yes, of course. I'm excited for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Excellent. And arguing the con side, disagreeing with this statement, is our friend WardenBlackBeard. WardenBlackBeard, how are you doing tonight? Oh,
hello.
Oh, he's already throwing shade. He's already throwing shade. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Very excited again. I'm thankful that both of you took the time tonight. Now, just so you all know, earlier today, Papa Donuts won our coin toss and elected to defer. So here's how it's going to play out. WardenBlackBeard, you will have up to 4 minutes to make your opening statement. Then, Papa Donuts, you will have 4 minutes. Since Papa Donuts is speaking second, WardenBlackBeard, you will be able to ask him up to 4 rebuttal questions. Papa Donuts, you'll have up to 1 minute per answer. And then, Papa Donuts, you can return the favor. And then finally, WardenBlackBeard, you will have 2 minutes to make your closing argument, and Papa Donuts, you get to speak last. Now, just so you all know, one of these 2 young gentlemen is going home with $100 in cash prizes. Okay, one last thing. We are running a timer, and get ready, Riptide. When you are 30 seconds left to your time, you will hear this sound. Perfect. Nicely done. Not bad for the first show. Okay, so I think that covers everything. WardenBlackBeard, again, tonight's topic is pre-order bonuses and microtransactions are detrimental to the gaming industry. You are here to argue, to disagree with that statement. Make your case.
All right, y'all. Thanks for coming by. I think my biggest position on this is that in the long run, this does assist gaming developers in continuing to push forward on their games. So games like Destiny that have been out for a long while, they use microtransactions, or other games like Warzone and stuff like that. They use microtransactions to continue to develop more things for games and stuff like that. I do believe that also pre-orders are very good. It also helps developers and other development studios to gauge the interest of the game. They go, okay, there are a lot of people that are interested in this game. More giving us more money also helps us push this game a little bit further into development. It gives us a little bit more leeway in the sense of, if something were to mess up within the game or something like that, we can fix it at a better time, at a sooner time, than if we were to just wait for day and date purchases only. I think really in practice, it does help. I don't think it, in a sense, horrifies or hurts a game. In a sense, there are examples where it has hurt a game. For example, Battlefront 2 was a big example, but in the long run, once they fixed it, it did help. Some of the microtransactions that are now in Battlefront 2 do help it. But again, free to play games are a big place. You're getting the game for completely free. They still need to make money at some point in time within the game itself. And really, a lot of games nowadays, even though they cost $60, $70, a lot of the times we're not at a point in gaming where we get a full and complete game, sadly to say. So that's where DLC comes in, and where it expounds on the story, and you're able to kind of see where more of the story goes into, and invest, if you are truly interested in that game, investing a little bit more time within that game. There are a lot of people that do that. The Witcher 3 is a huge game that did that. You bought the game, and then there were DLC packs that came with it. A good game that does it as well. Madden is a decent game that is currently played by many people. That the Madden Ultimate Team, a lot of people do use their microtransactions to get newer players and have different advantages within the game. Again, there's something else as well. There are points and times where you can also purchase things that may help you a little bit in the game itself, to actually give you an XP boost within the game, or push you further along in the story, where it may have taken you a lot longer if you didn't purchase that specific item. It may have taken you a couple days compared to maybe a couple of hours doing this small microtransaction that maybe costs you 99 cents or $1. Again, ultimately, I think it, like I said, it helps the industry to promote the industries to continue to support games, even when the games are kind of starting to die down. They'll start to kind of put stuff out, and they're just like, okay, this may be something that they're interested in doing. Again, pushing it forward. I think ultimately, pushing forward within the industry, it will continuously to help the leaders in the industry to make better games, while they continuously push stuff out that may even help the games longer. That's it.
All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, WardenBlackBeard. Papa Donuts, you are here to agree with the statement, pre-order bonuses and microtransactions are detrimental to the gaming industry. State your case.
All righty. So I have a question for you, chat. If you went to the store right now and you bought a gallon of milk, and then the cashier says, well, that gallon of milk is $3. However, you only get the milk. You're not getting a container or a cap. If you want that, you got to pay for the container. It's going to be an extra $3, and the cap, which is going to be an extra $1. Would you ever do that? Absolutely not. So if that's the case with your groceries, why would you have that be the case with your games? You see, this leads into the hiding stuff behind microtransactions. What's going to happen is you're going to get into a game. You're going to start loving it. You're going to play it. You're going to play it. You're going to play it. And then they're going to say, hey, here's your wall. That's your free source. That's all you're able to do. You paid $20 for the game already. And now we're moving you into, you have to pay another $20 to unlock the next area. I know when I was a kid, Wizards 101 did this. You got to play a little bit at the beginning. You got to move back and forth through the game. You got to get your character. You got really invested. And then they're like, hey, to go to the next spot, you got to either buy a membership or pay for each area separately. And as a kid, I didn't have money. So now I have to go ask my parents. And that just leads to so many big issues. COD also used to do this, but they changed their ways. They got rid of the extra map purchases, which I believe has helped their game in the long run. Now, as a kid, this is really bad for you because you don't understand the value of money yet. So these microtransactions are actually very predatory. You see, this makes you addicted to the game, as I already said, and then you have to pay to play the game. So where they're sitting here going, you have this cutesy fun game, you're getting to enjoy it. You don't have to spend your week's allowance. And then no, now you have to, if you want to keep playing this game that you've already invested time into, and now you've sunk all that time into it, you have to pay. And a lot of people will, which again, if people want to pay, that's fine. But I guarantee you, these kids and these parents would prefer if these games could stay free to play with ads, with other games. If you're going to make a game that has purchasing in it, then that should be upfront and parents should know that going into the game. This leads me into my mobile game section where they are riddled with gotcha games. You see, these games do the same thing. They get you into it. You have these free little things. They're cute. They're fun. You get to open packs to get your next item or your next character, and you're moving. You're like, this is so much fun. And then you hit a wall where you can try to beat it, and it's going to take you 20 hours to grind one character, or you can pay $10 and open all these packs. And eventually these packs will get you a character that'll allow you to move on to the next area. Now, FIFA is a big example of this. I know that there was one example done by Parent Zone in the UK. They took a study of kids, and they actually talked to one of the parents where he spent $8 to get a pack for their kids on FIFA. Over the next 3 weeks, since his credit card was already on there and the kids didn't understand that he's paying for this, they ended up making it $700. All they wanted was their favorite soccer player, Messi, and they didn't get him after $700 of opening packs. Now, to me, that's awful. They should have been able to have a place where they could buy Messi, and they were able to get it based off of just being able to purchase it off the market. Next thing is pay to win. If you're paying to win to a game and you're spending $20 where somebody spent 30 hours into a game and you're not getting the same results as the person, you are doing better than the person who put 30 hours into a game. That is awful for the gaming industry in the long run. Finally, loot boxes are bad. They're going to hurt the gaming industry because they're going to get kids into it, and gambling is not good for kids to have.
All right. Well, there you go. That's a couple of really good arguments. Okay, now we're in the Q&A side of the game. Again, as I mentioned, WardenBlackBeard gets to now ask Papa Donuts up to 4 questions. And Papa Donuts, you'll have 1 minute per answer. Warden, let him have it.
All right, Papa. So when you said the whole entire thing where you think it doesn't actually technically help development studios, how do you believe when it comes to free to play games, how they can continue to make money when games like Warzone is free to play and stuff like that?
So I do believe that cosmetics are a great way to have microtransactions into a game without making it to where it ends up being pay to win. Also, I do counteract the fact that I don't believe that all microtransactions are good for games, because I remember Counter-Strike had 2 years where they did not bring out a battle pass. They just kept releasing crate boxes. Why? Crate boxes made them more money. So instead of updating their game, making more content for the community, all they did was try to money grab. And I believe that killed their game in the short term for that time being.
Okay. Another question. I understand that you said that it could be predatory and it could be addicting. But what do you say towards like things like gambling and stuff like that? I think it takes a little bit more self-control, wouldn't you think?
I would agree. There needs to be some self-control. But do you think one of your kids right now, if they had the money, that they didn't realize that they have to be working for this money, that this money doesn't just come for free, that when they sit here and they're like, oh, I can buy another pack. It doesn't, what's $8? I don't know. It's $8. So I'm going to click yes. It goes to your card. if you don't notice it right away, you're just going to keep racking up because these kids are they're just trying to have fun, right? They're just trying to make the best out of the game that they can. And unfortunately, these systems that allow the credit card to be put on there, used transactionally, and these kids to just keep grabbing and grabbing, trying to get their favorite, like I said, their favorite soccer player, Messi. All they wanted was to get one character, spent $700 of the dad's money, and wasn't even able to find it.
Okay, so with something like that, wouldn't you think? And it's not trying to blame the parents or anything like that, but wouldn't you think that there should be a point where parents, including parents, should be watching out for stuff like that? That going, hey, you know, our kids shouldn't be, you know, excessively spending some money like that. We should be watching our obviously our transactions sheets and stuff like that, and also watching our children. Any parent by themselves, we should be watching our child and what they're actually playing as well, correct?
Absolutely, I agree. But we're not here to argue if the parents should be stepping in or not. Obviously, the parents should try their best to get their kids to be as good and not be doing like gambling, not be spending the money as they can. But however, I remember as a kid, I went to buy a ringtone. I didn't understand that this costed money. I just clicked get ringtone. Yes, agreed. And my parents didn't notice that charge until the next cell phone bill came in. Thankfully, I only bought one ringtone. But if I thought this was cool, I could have bought $100 worth of ringtones before my parents even saw that cell phone bill come in the mail, which would have really ended up hurting them at that time financially.
Understood. I think for my last question, ultimately, how do you think, I know this was kind of a question that was asked initially, but how do you think development studios, now that we have development studios that are charging $60 for a game, but also charging for cosmetics, which is a form of microtransactions in the cusp of it, as well as DLCs, do you think that's specifically wrong to expand on a story and maybe charge like $5 to $10 for it?
Absolutely. I believe that if your game is $60, again, why am I getting the milk with no carton? If I'm able to play us through a specific amount of the game and then I get cut off because I didn't pay for the rest of it, if you're charging me $5 as a part one of a game and I know this going into it, okay, but if I'm buying a $60 game and it says, "Hey, here is your game. By the way, we're going to charge you another $20 later," without you knowing this at the beginning, or even if you do know it, $20 later on top of a $60 game, that's awful. They should not be hiding content from you when you are already purchasing a game. The skins are another end of microtransactions. I do believe in a $60 game, you should not have to pay for skins. You should be able to grind them through the game, and that should be the only way that skins are available. But skins are not going to be anywhere towards pay to win. So if they were going to do microtransactions, I would say that cosmetics are the best way to do it and stop the pay to win style.
So, great job. Now, let's flip the cards. And Papa Donuts, you have up to 4 questions to ask, and Warden Blackbeard, 1 minute per answer. Let's start the clock, and Papa Donuts, let them have it.
Alrighty, so question 1, you stated that pre-orders are really good for a company to gauge interest of their game, which I do agree with because they get numbers and they get to see who's in there. Why do they have to add bonuses along on top of that instead of just saying, "Hey, here's the pre-order. If you'd like to buy it now, great"?
I think with pre-order bonuses, I think it incentivizes the players to actually want the game even more. One of the biggest examples for me, just because it's a game that I recently pre-ordered, is actually Resident Evil 8 Village. They gave you the opportunity to actually get the Red 9 gun, as well as it is something that you can get in the game through the story, but it's something that it gives you the ability to kind of give you a little bit of a head start in the game with Resident Evil. Another pre-order bonus is when you pre-ordered Cold War, you were able to get the first season battle pass for free, which was something great. Outriders is another game that has pre-order bonuses. It gives you a couple of skins. I think really ultimately pre-orders help. Again, like I said, it helps gauge the interest of the game, as well as it incentivizes the purchaser to go, "Oh, well, I also get something nice on top of buying a game that I'm super interested in."
Alrighty, interesting points there. Second question, as a gamer, what motivation do you have to try to ease the game? Instead of sitting there going, okay, I have a game that could be 60 hours long, but I could buy this now and I turn it into a 20-hour game with those microtransactions. Why would you not, like you said, that gun that Red Dead helps you, you can get it later in the game, but you prefer to, if you get the pre-order, you get it early, and now it's just helping you run through the game faster?
I think it's kind of different for each individual gamer. I think some will say that, hey, they want to be able to kind of go through the game a little quicker. For me, personally, I like to have those kind of cool, interesting things. Personally, I wouldn't use it. I think I would use it towards where the point where I could use it. I think a lot of gamers nowadays, they like the idea of having pre-order bonuses, and they like having those nice skins and those nice guns and stuff like that. But a lot of them don't really technically even use them. Like I said, myself, I wouldn't. Another huge game that does it again is Call of Duty. Call of Duty, they give you like skins and stuff like that. Another thing, they give you guns as well. The Mac 10 from season 1 was a big one that you could unlock through the season pass. I think again it helps, but at the long run, it's up to ultimately the player if they want to use it or not.
Okay. Third question here. Is a game really free to play if you hit a wall on content where you either have to A, pay to unlock next areas, or B, start opening loot boxes to try to get a stronger team because the team that you are able to get in game is not strong enough to beat the next levels?
That's actually a good question there. I think personally, for me, it's a yes and no kind of answer. Yes, in the sense of I agree in the sense of, yeah, it is kind of in that sense predatory, where it's not really technically free to play at that point. But no, in the sense of there are games where you can actually just go back through some of the areas and actually level up your player to get to that point where you can continue on through the story. Or even like you said, there's DLC that you can't continue on through the story unless you purchase those DLCs, which is understandable. And some players don't really technically do those DLCs. They'll just beat the game and call it the day. And which is fine either way, personally.
All right. And final question that I have here, and then I'll get you back to the desk. Is there not a inherent issue now that kids and adults alike are expecting not a full game to come out, expecting the fact that, hey, I'm going to pay $60 and then I'm going to pay another $20 on top of that to get the DLC. And then knowing that, I read a study that, again, by Parent Zone, that 44% of kids are now expecting that to happen. And I just believe that's inherently wrong. Thoughts?
I think the biggest thing is, I think a lot is when it comes to games like this, games have developed so much since the 90s from where we were born. Back in the day, you paid $40 for a video game and you got a full game. Now it takes a lot more leeway. It takes a lot more money to create video games. And when it ultimately hurts the studios. And I know I'm not trying to be on the studio side fully all the time, but it sucks because like I said, games in the 90s were easier to develop, quicker to come out, where now in the early 2000s, it takes 5 to 10 years to develop a video game and to push it out. And even then, after the video game comes out, perfect example, Cyberpunk 2077, the game's not even fully ready.
All right. Well, thank you for answering my questions. I believe we're going back to Titan.
Guys, judges, I hope you're paying close attention. Those are some really, really good points. Now, while the judges while the two sides prepare their closing statements before your last opportunity to convince the judges you are the right side. But before we go to those statements, I think Riptide has a commercial for us about our sponsor.
Helm Audio delivers audiophile sound quality to music lovers who care about audio quality from headphones without breaking the bank, both in wired and true wireless flavors. In addition to headphones, Helm designs and builds products to enhance smartphone audio too. We could talk about being audio innovators, but we think others say it best. Helm Audio was recently recognized for CES 2020, the largest and most influential technology event on the planet, with 4 innovation awards. Why listen to audio that comes up short when great audio quality is available without setting you back? At Helm, we believe we're just getting started. Try a Helm and hear what you've been missing.
Judges, I hope you're paying attention. We've had a couple of really, really good arguments made tonight. This is the last chance, contestants, for you guys to make your case. We're going to start once again with WardenBlackBeard. WardenBlackBeard, 2 minutes for your closing argument. Go ahead.
All righty then. I think I'm going to start it off with ultimately microtransactions assist the development studios in moving games forward and creating better content. Like we discussed, I think a lot of the focus, what Papa Donut was saying, was the predatory actions and hurting children and hurting the wallets of a lot of parents. And I completely understand that there. And a lot of the time, I think as parents, we need to focus a lot on what our children spend money on, and we need to pay attention to that. Another thing that I'd like to say is pre-orders are actually a good thing. Again, like I said, it does assist in development studios to gauge the interest of games and to see where people lie within that game. Yes, I understand that some people will use those items to kind of push themselves forward in a game, but ultimately not a lot of people technically use them in a sense. Me personally, like I said, I wouldn't push myself towards using something like that. But the microtransactions side is, I don't inherently say that it's bad. I don't think that it personally hurts people. A lot of people use them, and it's helped a lot of studios continue forward with their video games continuously. Warzone, for example, Diablo, for example. FIFA, Madden. There's so many games that use microtransactions to assist their games to continue to push forward. A good game that a lot of people use nowadays is Fortnite. Fortnite, you get V-Bucks and you purchase skins and stuff like that you can just stunt your player, which is a lot of what people like to do, just stunt their player.
Nicely done. Now, Papa Donut, it is all up to you. What is your closing argument, please?
All righty. So you stated that in the long run, these microtransactions and pre-order bonuses help the studios and create better content. And they don't always, especially, like I said, in the case of Counter-Strike, that stunted the growth of Counter-Strike for a very long time. So much to the fact that they didn't start releasing new content until Valorant came out. The next thing is basically you're saying that pre-order bonuses are worthless because a lot of people don't end up using them. So if they're not even used, why should they be out there? We should just be pre-ordering the game because we have the love of the game. I do agree that 90s games were easier to make. However, with 10 years to already make a game, like you were saying, you would think that the full game would be released at release date. So finally, these microtransactions are not only predatory, but cause poor gaming experiences when you're not able to get the full use of your game. And they really hurt the everyday grindy gamer, because if I sit here for 30 hours working on something and someone can go buy it for $200 that I can't afford, well, they're on the same level as me where I've been putting in all this effort and work to get to the next level. Like I said before, you wouldn't buy milk without a carton. You wouldn't buy it without a cap. So why are you buying your game without the full content? And that's what I call making waves. Thank you very much.
That was very nice. A little plug there for that. That's not going to bring you any bonus points, though. I'm sorry. The judges don't.
I don't know. It depends who's judging.
The judges do not care that you plugged the show. I'm very happy. Thank you very much. But the judges aren't going to care. Okay, this is the part of the show where all of you in the crowd, we would be engaging you. We would be talking right now about all the chat messages you sent about last week's amazing debate. But there wasn't a debate last week. So we're going to talk about what you've said tonight next week. In the meantime, I want to point your attention to the chat where our friend LV has posted a form. If you are interested in debating on the show, if you're interested in vying for that $100 cash prize, let us know and we will be happy to do it. All right, I am looking for the judges' results now. Judges, you're running out of time, so get them all in here. In the meantime, hold on one second. In the meantime, I've got a result from the chat. Let's see if the judges agree. Judges, going once. Judges. Judges, is this thing on?
Oh, I hear you.
We hear you.
There's got to be a drum roll. 1 second. Oh, 1 second. Hold on. We're getting the final tally. And the winner is somebody's doing a single finger type on the keyboard. And the winner for $100 cash prize tonight, Papa Donut. Congratulations.
Good job, man. Nice.
Thank you. Warden, great debate.
Yeah,
it was a lot
man.
of fun. I'm happy we had to
Warden,
do it.
nice job, man. I will tell
Yeah,
you
man.
that the chat agreed that Papa Donut won tonight. Now again, everybody was supposed to check their own opinion at the door. So I don't know. The judges have sworn to me that they did that. I don't know about the chat. That's kind of, you can call out your friends later on and find out if they had your back. Anyway, that was very fun. Thank you very much. That was a blast. Before we leave, Papa Donut, where can we find you? Somebody wants to find you online. Where can we find you?
Twitch.tv/Papa Donut with a 0. I'm sure LV will get that in the chat for you guys. And I guess I'm on Twitter and Instagram. Same thing, Papa Donut 1 on Twitter. It's all on my Twitch page. So if you want to see anything, just head over there. It's all there for you.
Perfect. And how about you, Warden Blackbeard? Where we find you?
Man, you guys can find me on Twitch at WardenBlackBeard, on Instagram at WardenBlackBay, and Instagram at WardenBlackBeard. I hope to see y'all guys there.
All right. Thanks again, guys. Man, this was our first ever show. That was awesome. I really appreciate it. Everyone else, thank you very, very much for coming. We will see you next week. Make sure you sign up if you're interested in debating, interested in trying to get your $100 and plead your case. Let us know. In the meantime, stay tuned next week and we will make some waves.